Yo, so one of my favorite quotes of all time, it goes something like, "To conduct the orchestra, you must turn your back on the crowd," which it resonates so much with me, and I definitely think in symbolism, and it's so much symbolism in this. So basically, to conduct the orchestra, you must turn your back on the crowd. First of all, with the conductor and the orchestra, you think about the orchestra, there's different sections. There's the brass section, the woodwinds, the strings, percussion, and within each section there's different instruments, and even with the instruments there's different roles. Like even with, like for me, I used to play a couple instruments, but my main one was clarinet. Yeah, like clarinet 1, clarinet 2, clarinet 3, that each had different parts, you know what I mean? So anyway, it's not even just the sections, it's not even just the instrument. Even within each instrument, everybody had a different role, you know what I mean? Different timing, um, to play in a certain way, staccato, whatever, you know what I mean? And yeah, and then the conductor is the one who, honestly, I was looking at the root word conductor, or not the root word, it's literally the word conductor. Um, but thinking about it like with like another way with like with metals, like a conductive metal or something that is conductive, it is able to, it allows the flow of something through it. You know what I mean? So in this case with the orchestra, I look at the conductor as a channeler, a channeler of energy, of music, a channeler of the masterpiece, you know? And in this case, imagine the conductor is the composer, is also the composer who composed the composition, who made the music that everybody's playing. You know what I mean? So that conductor, who is also the composer, has that view, like literally, uh, he or she created the music, and they're literally. And first of all, that's a whole nother thing. To even be a composer, like for orchestra, first of all, I think that's amazing. Um, Composer in general, but for orchestra, like you gotta think of all the different sections, the instruments. By the way, I'm no expert. I'm no expert. I used to play in the band. Yes, orchestra. Yeah, we played as an orchestra, I guess you said. Um, so I'm no expert in all that. All this is just my opinion. You know what I mean? So I'm no um, authority on this, or whatever. I'm just saying my interpretation of this. That's the point of this video. Um, but yeah, it's like, for one, I think it's really cool because you got to think of every single instrument. Like the conductor knows every single part, every single person playing every um, significant part, or maybe the background or whatever, the solos, So in that way, I look at the conductor as, like, especially a conductor who's also the composer. I look at the conductor as the channeler of their creation, of their imagination. That they had this idea of music, of this vibe, of this story that they wanted to create through this masterpiece of music with all these different sections, all these different instruments and parts and roles, and they're channeling the band to play at a certain tempo, um, play at a certain volume, you know, and they're channeling the creation they want to create, you know? And so basically with the quote, to conduct the orchestra, you must turn your back on the crowd, where the symbolism comes into play, or the lesson for me comes into play, is that to lead, to create, to be yourself, to chase your dreams, or really, I say, attract your dreams, you gotta turn your back on the crowd. Because I didn't even say what the orchestra represents. To me, the orchestra represents a lot of different things. I kind of say a little bit, but it represents your masterpiece. It represents your imagination, your creation, things, your projects, things that you want to create, you know. And you're tweaking this and tweaking that, and also represents like your multifaceted self, all the different sections and instruments and roles and things that you setting up and creating. You probably writing this, working with this person, traveling here, learning this, studying this, tweaking this within yourself, you know, making good habits, refining yourself, you know, channeling who you really are, who you are meant to be, knowing yourself more and more, better and better, like you're like studying yourself, you know, and you're kind of working your magic with the orchestra. You as the conductor, you know, you have to turn your back on the crowd. You have to turn your back on people and focus on what you're creating. Focus on your magic. Focus on your orchestra and all the aspects and facets that is you, as a part of you, and as a part of your becoming. You know what I mean? Because the crowd, man, like, people gonna have all different types of opinions. You know what I mean? All different types of opinions, you know. But at the end of the day, they came to see you, though. They came to see you. They there at your show. You conducting. And they there for a reason. You know what I mean? You have your supporters. There are a lot of people who generally came to support you. You know what I mean? Who want to see you work your magic. Want to see you be great. They champion you and support you. You know what I mean? They just want to bask in your greatness and see it for themselves. Some people don't know you, whatever, but they have a feeling about you. Like, you know what, I don't know about this person, but I feel something. You know what, I want to see this for myself. You know what I mean? And then you got some people who want to pray on your downfall, who want to see you mess up. They just waiting for you to mess up. You know what I mean? So they can have something bad to say or whatever and project that negative ass energy onto you. Like, and some people looking for a come up. Some people don't have talent themselves, but look at you and they see the greatness in you and see you killing shit, working your magic, creating your masterpiece and going crazy in the best way, you know what I mean, with your talents, and just want to capitalize off of that. You know what I mean? Like, all that's in the crowd. All that's in the crowd. What I'm saying is, don't, you know what I mean? What the quote means to me is like, don't pay attention to none of that. You won't have haters. You won't have supporters. Either way, you gotta put that behind you and focus your attention on your orchestra, on creating what you want to create, despite what anybody say, what anybody think, what anybody project onto you or criticize you for it. Nah, like, this is your orchestra. You know what I mean? You are the conductor. You are channeling your higher self. You are channeling your inner child. You are channeling your creativity, imagination, in only a way that you could do. There's only one conductor. There can only be one. Hey, maybe some people have, maybe there are more than one conductor in certain situations, but in general, I'm talking about one conductor. You know what I mean? Especially one conductor who is the composer, who knows how everything is supposed to look, how everything is supposed to sound, how everything is supposed to feel. Nah, can't nobody else be you. You created this. You know every single person, every single instrument in this orchestra. There is no one here that should not be here. That is a waste of a spot or whatever. You created this. And you can swap it. Now I'm getting a lot more symbolic. But yeah, you can swap and switch out whoever you want. It's your piece. You know what I mean? So, yeah. To conduct the orchestra, you must turn your back on the crowd. You gotta turn your back on opinions. Turn your back on other people who are not part of the program. Yes, I appreciate the supporters. You know what I mean? I really do. But let me work. You know what I mean? Watch me work my matter. You know what I mean? Like, um, yeah, there'll be some supporters who will be in the orchestra. You know, who um, confirmation bird chirp. It's like a second time that happened today. As soon as I say certain thing, the bird just start chirping, cooing. But yeah, and you gotta be brave. You gotta be brave to turn your back on the crowd and do your own thing. It definitely can be tough. Some people might boo you. You know what I mean? All that's just, you know, you watching me. Like, you came to my show. Interesting. Like I said, they watching for a reason. They there for a reason. So, but anyway, yeah. To conduct the orchestra, you must turn your back on the crowd. It's one of my favorite quotes, man. Yeah, let me know y'all's thoughts on that, if that resonate with y'all, or y'all's take on it. And yeah, hope everybody doing well, man. You know, but yeah, that's all for now. Peace.